Side to GEFA. I am your somewhat commentator, Danny Morales, and I'm here as always with Trey Door. And after a two-week hiatus, Coach V is back. How are you fellas doing today? Good?
Yes, sir.
Doing great. Glad to be here, Dan.
Awesome, awesome. And now here's your host, the president with the most, Mr. James Simonson. Take it away, sir.
All right, welcome everybody back. We got a great episode for everybody. We're going to be talking about the games that were, even all four of them. A lot of excitement in some of them, not just football related. And we'll talk about the game next week since we have a makeup on Memorial Weekend. So, how are you guys doing so far?
Good. Ready to go. Ready to discuss.
Vinny, how's it back?
Good, man. Happy to be here.
You were missed.
I'm sure.
I heard you had the same surgeon as Joe Burrow.
I did. Yeah, wrist is good to go, baby. We're locked in,
All
fully rehabbed.
right. So about week 8, you right back on the bench. All right. Moving on.
Well, the good thing about having the surgery on was during a Buffalo's bye week, so.
Yeah.
Vinny didn't have to overdo it. All right, let's get into the first game. We'll go with Crusaders at Comanche. Comanche win 56-0.
Sounds
That
like
about
a
sums it up.
shellacking. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't
Whatever that noise in the background pretty much covers it.
think a lot of people probably had their pads off early in this game. A lot of people probably didn't have to play that much. Got a lot of good looks. Um, I don't know. I haven't seen the film yet.
All right, let's move on. It's going to be a lot of this. Nightmare traveling to the Wildcats. Wildcats win 62-12.
Dominant win. The only film that was up that I've seen. Wildcats did what they were supposed to do.
Now you watched the film, and that's all you had to say about it?
Yeah, it's 20 minutes. I don't know what you want. As a player, I feel like you wanted more from, the guys coaching and stuff. I can't really do too much of what I felt. Vinny?
Or did you watch any of it?
Unfortunately, I did not.
Go Wildcats.
Who's the home team? Wildcats? Yeah. Yeah, looked like JR was at quarterback a lot more. I don't know if they're going to be going with that like going forward, but it's a solid option.
All right, moving on. Miners at Warriors. Warriors won 56-6.
Did Gary return, or is he still out on injury?
Still out on injury.
Set this out. Yeah.
Yeah, he said you're on it.
Yeah, set this one out. Sounds like a lot of these games went how they were supposed to go. sounds like. I don't know. I've only seen film for one. So
All right, moving on. Mustangs traveling to the Vikings. Vikings win 38-12.
38-12. Yep.
four thoughts? You were there?
I was there. I was. Mustangs got a bunch of talent. I feel like we won in pretty much every facet of the game. Both teams ran the ball quite a bit. It was like 26-6 or something like that at half. We came out, had a long grinding drive that ate up a bunch of the third quarter.
A fast third quarter in MOVA?
Yeah.
Well, the Vikings had the ball for, I heard, 9 minutes.
Well, we had a long drive, and then first play they came out and threw a pass, and our defense intercepted it. Hoy intercepted it, and then we were right back out there. So, I don't know. Mustangs traveled with decent numbers. They had a bunch of guys that seemed to have gotten banged up. I think Kistrunk broke his wrist. So, aside from those types of things, I mean, as a whole, it was a pretty solid game. Good day, GEFA football.
James, what was a lot of us want to know what your perspective on the game was. We know that you weren't there, but you were perhaps there in spirit, perhaps over the phone.
Nope, I just got a call about the refs. That was about it.
Okay, so you just confirmed that you were over the phone there in spirit. Can you tell us what
I
perhaps
confirmed that in my post.
Okay, so do you want to go a little more in depth on what perhaps not just the refs on this game, but just the refs in general or the complaints? What can we do with this? How can we make this work for both sides, players, coaches, staff in the league? What are your thoughts? Just off of the complaints that
we still don't know the rules, so that's one thing. I've got players and coaches calling me, arguing about calls and stuff that aren't even rules in our league. So there's that. Or we got
any examples?
So what, you got
Just
a
so-
coach
just so that we can
calling
process.
you about hang on. You got a coach calling you about a rule that isn't a rule the coach thought it was a rule?
yeah.
Wow. I think we got to start there.
Yeah.
You got to start there. I understand the refs need to know the rules, but as a coach and you don't know the rules, and then you're going to call the president and question it and be wrong? If you're going to make that call, you can't be wrong.
Yeah,
these are facts.
But we want to get mad at the refs, but we don't know the rules of our own league, but want somebody to come in and learn. That's craziness.
That's almost every other week I get a call from either a player or a coach arguing calls.
And then they get mad when you don't answer. How, Sway?
Let's go a little more in depth on that. Let's forget about these games that we only got one film for, and let's just dig deeper into what.
I mean, here's the thing: we had one film, and we didn't say anything about it. We had two people that were at the game, barely said anything about it. I mean, not even watching the game, I could have said the same shit. But yeah, we're going to try to turn things on me and try to get me to freaking talk for the rest of the episode.
What two people can we name them?
Name who?
You said there were two people that were at the game. That
weren't you and Thor there at the Vikings game? Aren't you two Vikings?
I wasn't at the game, and I think I've made that very clear, especially to you. But my favorite thing is the public grandstanding that you do. But let's
Well, let's
move
go
on.
with that. How do we go with the public grandstanding now?
We're doing it right now.
Huh?
I'm more interested in coaches not knowing the rules.
That's what I think.
Like that's
dive
all. Yeah,
into
I wasn't
instead
trying
of
to get you to take over the. Yeah,
you
I'm
know?
not trying to get you to take over the episode. You said something. I'm asking a question. I'm following up on what you said. Like,
How to
call them
dig the
out.
rule
What
book?
coaches are calling you bitching about the rules and don't know the damn rules, but they want to complain about a ref?
Yeah, we just want to, moderate a little bit.
Well, I should be doing the same moderating you did last week and just look in the comments all day.
Hey, one of us is the president of the league. One of us is a player.
Yeah. And you're still on the same show as me.
Okay.
So who don't know the rules?
That's and he keeps saying it, but James
There's a
keeps
lot of
dancing
coaches
around
that
it.
don't know the rules.
Who don't know the rules?
There's a lot of coaches.
Drop them out.
All right, then who knows the rules? Try that route.
There's a lot.
Thor, you know the rules?
I know the rules.
Got a rule book.
You got a book?
Make sure it's accessible every home game.
Huh.
I got caught without one last year, and I'm not letting that slip again.
Oh boy.
What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I'm staying out of this one. That's what I think.
There's nothing to stay out of. Nobody's mad. Just some casual conversation. At times one-sided, but casual.
The rules.
Thor only knows the rules in away games. Probably. That's the only time you carry that book, ain't it, Thor? But you got to, because apparently not many people know them.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big story, but we're just gonna dance
Every
around
home
it.
team's supposed to have a rule book visual for the referees. It's even in the referees survey that they send to me. And we made it to the point where it was easy enough where all they have to do was show it from their phone, from the website. You didn't even have to have a physical copy anymore of it.
I got an idea. Hear me out, right?
Maybe read them.
Go on the Facebook page, right? And list all the coaches that don't know the rules, but do it under anonymous, and nobody will know who it was.
That's the wave.
But make sure you use the same emojis and wording that you normally do in all your regular messages and texts that you send out to everybody to see. But we still won't know it's you. Andrew.
I know we had a referee that at the Wildcats game screwed up on a couple of calls and ejected people that shouldn't have been ejected. And that's a problem. We had a Zoom meeting with the officials, and obviously we said the one phrase was instant ejection. That was almost the same as starting a fight, because that phrase started so many fights. And the use of the N-word was used on what they could do. And we said, do the unsportsmanlike. He took it as eject them. And that's when he started ejecting everybody for using the N-word. if we are going to eject people for using the N-word, you're going to probably throw out 90% of the league.
So it should have been a penalty first, right?
Should have been a penalty.
So
And with the penalties, with an unsportsmanlike, you have to sit out for 2 series.
So did the coach know that?
Yep. As a period. And the thing that happened with that was there was no cool down period. They're automatically ejected. And how do you enforce those ejections when the referee's ejecting for the wrong stuff and we're not following the process?
It's a referee issue as well.
Yeah.
I know a good amount of these refs so far that have plus rules that aren't in the book or that we told about the rule.
What's that, Trey?
I said there's a lot of refs in this league that have said rules that either aren't rules or that rules were conveyed to them and they were just like, no, that's not what I read, and it's like, I don't think you read this.
Well, here's the thing with our rules. A lot of our rules is Billy went through all our rules that are actual GEFA rules. If it's not written in the GEFA rules and hasn't been amended by the GEFA, it reverts back to PIAA. And we have a couple refs.
Current PIAA?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have some refs in this league that try to interpret it the way they want it to instead of trying to actually learn our rules.
They pick from both.
What's that?
They pick from both rules.
Right.
And
they'll take what they like about our rules and they'll take what they like about PIAA rules and try to mix them together instead of just doing what the hell the rules are. And that is a problem in our league. And we have a lot of refs in this league. A couple of them, they left the league years ago because of the attitudes and all that stuff. They came back this year and they seem to be picking up where they left off. They're having a good time in that. And then there's other refs that think that they're in charge. It's their word or nothing. And they just feel that they could do whatever they want. And as a league standpoint, we can't really do anything because the teams are supplying those refs. Now, when we're able to do anything is come playoff time, Keystone Bowl, All-Star Game, Kickoff Classic. But every time we get complaints about referees and everything else, it's because we just don't know the rules, or we question the refs' rules with rules that we don't even know about. And then we're wondering why the refs are getting pissed off at us. Like, what's that?
We'll come back to it, but really, I mean, it's kind of on topic, but off topic. Do you think that like the reffing issues and like just teams and refs in general, do you think has something to do with like, I feel like there were a lot more high scoring games. Like,
I mean, we did data for the past couple of years on when things happened with games, and that's why we tried to change the play clock and that to try to make the games quicker. Anytime you get a game that's 2.5 hours, pushing the 3 hour mark, exhaustion, frustration, all that's going to kick in, and then you're going to have problems. We also have teams that just instigate the shit out of other teams, and the refs do nothing to try to stop that. And we put it in this year. Sideline warnings. Start throwing the flag for it. If we have a sideline warning, it's the penalty. And then the second one, the head coach gets ejected.
So the
How many
first sideline,
coaches? What's that?
the first sideline warning is a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Depending on how it is.
I was about to say they've been picking and choosing on that then.
Exactly. A lot of them are
all
picking and
counts.
choosing because they know that the coaches in this league aren't going to control their sideline. So they're literally afraid to throw the flag on it. And right now, we've had 0 head coaches thrown out for sidelines. But yet every week we keep hearing, oh, this team sideline, this team sideline. There's no control over their sideline. And why don't you throw the flag? But it doesn't.
Yeah, there was a coach ejected from the game that we had on Saturday. Not 100% role of coaching, but yeah, I mean, they give warnings. That our sideline got a sideline warning now. It was trying to calm the fans down. The fans are really getting into the game and hooting and hollering and stuff. And I think the refs felt like they were on the wild end things. But I mean, it happens. The tough thing is, we can say people aren't taking control of the game and that refs need to help out with it and stuff. And then refs try to help out with it. And it's they're crazy. They made all these mistakes. It's like back and forth. I know some people weren't happy with the official, with some calls from the officials at the game that we had Saturday. Every time I tried to speak to the refs, they were reasonable. I had no problems with them. I'm not going to say that every call that they made was perfect, but they were reasonable. So, I mean, approach has something to do with it too, I'm sure.
I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't there. I can't go over everything with how the officiating acted there in your game. But we got to get more consistency. And I told the officials when we did the Zoom meeting, as a league, we're at the point where we can't help ourselves. We have so much entitlement in our league. The players just think they could just do whatever they want. Coaches feel like they don't have to learn the rules. And they're arguing with these refs and that. And then everybody's leaving instead of trying to fix the problem. Like, the refs would rather just leave than do what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, I get it. They get paid $100. $100 really isn't that much when you're officiating grown men and thinking that you're going to expect them to be like high schoolers. It's not going to happen. But at the end of the day, people got to realize cursing and that happens at high school games. It happens at college games. It happens at NFL games. The reason why you don't hear about it as much as you do at our games is because they have thousands of fans, hundreds of fans at the games. Our games, we have maybe 12, 15 people at some of them. And we act like none of that shit echoes into the crowd. Like, that's the stuff we're not being mindful of. And refs, we expect all these refs to be perfect on every single thing that they do. And they're not going to be. They're not at high school. They're not at college level. They're not at the arena level. They're not even at the NFL level. But the way we have our system now, we can't hold our refs accountable like they would at the NFL, at college. So we have to rely on our ownership to handle their refs. And depending on if the refs are screwing which team is whether or not that team that's paying them is going to accept. And that's just the way it is. Like if I'm the Vikings and I see my official pretty much screwing over the other team, but they're leaving me alone, I'm not going to say anything. And that's the problem with this league. Like, we don't step up to anything because we're so afraid we're going to lose our refs. I mean, we've lost tons of refs. We've lost, I can't even tell you how many refs we've lost since 2019.
We should post the sideline scores public every week. That'd be dope.
Yeah, let me find them. I could do that. I know I have them in the owners, and I think I might have them in a disciplinary committee. I mean, there's a lot of teams that haven't gone below a B this season. And then there's just some teams that are consistently a C. And then you get that one team every now and then that gets a D or whatever.
Yeah, that's wild. D's nuts. Because, like, you got to be getting at least a B or higher. It's just ridiculous any other way.
He said these nuts. I got him.
Daddy, what? Thor, I have to ask, was that intentional? Because I
No.
thought I was the only one that caught that. Was that shit intentional?
Sorry, James. Sorry about that.
My bad. Yeah, we were way too serious for that. I apologize.
Got
As you were.
him!
Oh. So yeah, about those sideline grades.
And like the ref grades, all that stuff. All that stuff. We should, if transparent, we got to just give it all. Show them the books.
See, that's another thing. Like, you put it in the owner's thing, you still got players that have no idea what the grades are for, like, the sidelines and behaviors. Like, that just tells me that, like, owners aren't relaying messages down to you guys. They're not giving you guys information. That, again, is another problem. Thor, Billy wants to know if you agree with him being ejected.
So here's the thing. The reason I say I'm like impartial on it is, like, is there any one thing that I saw Billy do that I thought he should have been ejected for? No. The answer is definitely no. But I don't hear all the things that are said on the other side. I don't know what comments are made, those kinds of things. But I didn't see anything in particular that would have made me think he was getting the boot. Honestly, the same thing with Menza. He was in the game. There was a tackle. I don't really see any kind of scuffle. It even looked like Menza tried to pick Greg up off the ground. I don't really get why he was booted. I don't even know if he had a warning before that.
No.
So can we conclude then he's eligible for next week? Let me just say it here publicly. So that...
No, because Mensa keeps asking in the comments, so I'm going to make him wait.
Yeah, that's a conference director call, not mine. So I'll just say, though, I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure Mensa picked him up off the ground. I don't think they were really beefing at all. I think they were.
Who are the directors?
Kerr.
You don't got to mumble. Me and Kerr.
Vinny and
You
Kerr.
don't got to mumble it. What are they in? Yeah, that's Kerr. That ain't me.
Well, we should have a like conference directors episode one of these.
Negative Ghost Rider. We have those every week in the chats, believe me. Anybody that has questions, they reach out, bro. They reach out, bro. There ain't no reason for a podcast.
They want us to get to the point. I don't really know what the point it would be. You're just talking, because there's only one film up, and we talked about that, and we can only talk about the scores. So
We're
have
just trying to fill time between now and the end. That's what we're doing.
We do have one game. There is one game this week. This one. Lonely game.
Oh yeah, who is it?
Wildcat.
Yep.
That's a good primetime game. Memorial Day. Time is it 1 p.m.?
Yeah, I believe so.
Thoughts, Vinny? How do you think that game's going to go?
A lot to a little.
What?
I'm gonna go 62-22. Cats.
And it's Wildcats Mustang. Okay. James.
Sorry, I'm just able to see the comments now, so I'm trying to get caught up on them. Sorry. I don't know. It all depends on how the Mustangs mindset bounce back in this one.
They show up all year. What are we waiting on? Go ahead. I'm sorry. I have my time to talk. I'm done. Go ahead.
No, Vinny, elaborate, buddy.
No, they haven't. Like we keep saying, like they're going to turn the corner this week. They're not showing up. They are not showing up. So I'm off that train.
Yeah, I mean, it was a physical game, and they definitely had a lot of guys that were banged up, like key pieces. And I don't know who wasn't there, who's going to be able to step in this week, how things are going to settle for them. But I got to go with the Wildcats in this one. 46-26.
Wildcats are the home team?
I
Or
believe
is it
so.
Mustang? Okay. That's all I need to know.
Like I was saying before I was cut off,
Sorry.
I think they're missing TJ. I think Tracy broke his wrist.
Pretty sure the bone came again.
What's that?
I'm pretty sure the bone came through the skin. It's broke.
Well, I wasn't there, so how would I know that unless I was there to see it?
I was just adding that in. I'm pretty sure that that's what everybody's feedback that went over to help him out was, that it was pretty bad. Hope he heals up quick.
Who's going to be the Wildcats quarterback for this? Because I'm hearing Ellis isn't there anymore. He is there.
Why is he not there anymore?
I don't know. That's what I'm just hearing.
I thought he was hurt or something. I didn't see him on the.
Yeah, I don't have any answers to that. It's maybe he's hurt. I don't know. I just know McNair was quarterback and went 0 for 1 with a pick, so he's not going to be the quarterback.
Ouch. I mean, JR is a good quarterback. I know Tallarico was on that roster at some point. So I guess we'll see what comes out.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's just so many questions. I think the Wildcats win it. I don't think the Mustangs are going to be able to bounce back after losing to the Vikings. And then, Doug says they're using a two quarterback system. Maybe Elliott is going to be quarterback. I don't know who the hell is going to be quarterback for that game.
Ironic.
But I just think Wildcats win by 2 scores. I think it will be low scoring. I mean, the Mustangs still have a pretty good defense. Wildcats have pretty good corners. They're seem to be coming into their own now. Yeah, I'll say Wildcats by 2 scores.
JR said, what questions do you have, Simerson? Will answer them.
I got too many to list right now. JR, who's being quarterback? Oh, where do you even see this?
I don't know. JR said, I'm the key.
You bring him on as a guest.
He said, next question. I'll just go ahead.
I'm reading along with you. Just keep going.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not seeing any of these.
It doesn't matter. Just ask away. We got it.
You're
He hears you.
responding to them.
Yeah, he hears you.
I'm responding from ones that are like 5 minutes ago.
I'm stalling. Ask your
it's not
question.
JR.
Tallarico still there?
I feel like it's like talking on a Ouija board. JR.
Yeah, waiting for the thing to move, waiting for the spirits to answer.
He said,
yes, sir.
He said,
Yep.
Bring him on as a guest.
Travis, shut up. JR clearly is answering questions.
James, block Travis real quick.
Have you ever even used the Ouija board?
He said he scored. You didn't watch film.
I did not. I never said I did.
Ah.
Tallarico's wide receiver 1. So.
Purple.
I thought we said something about a Ouija
I
board.
like it though.
Said it field. Balls. I don't know why, but balls. That's it, I guess. The spirits have left the.
All right, so everybody picked Wildcats in this one.
Yep. Doug, hey, I just need to, since like it's like the end basically. Can we get Doug a job? Like Doug needs to be on here or something. He needs something to do because he's so bored after like 4 p.m.
What do you propose we have Doug do?
He can come on here and moderate. I feel like he would love it.
Gets me off. Sounds fun.
No, Danny.
No, it's not that easy, bud.
Yeah,
it's not that easy.
You tried.
Monday night, baby.
Yeah, you tried.
You can't blame me for trying, brother.
Yeah, that was a solid try.
No,
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, he could do it. Yeah, I'll take the night off.
You are still
or the rest of the season.
We're still introducing.
Yeah.
No.
So let me ask you this, Dan. Right? You
Shoot.
came in full speed, and it sounds like you got a little wind out of your sails. All right. This is your first year. I know you went with the hometown team, but you can root for whoever you want. You're not really committed, right?
Nah, I'm committed.
Oh, be careful, man. Be careful.
I'm committed. I don't care, man. I'm winning.
Don't let Thor
no
bait
matter what.
There you go.
What? You want me to root for the Vikings? Come on, man.
I never said
Come
that.
on, man. Y'all
didn't-
beat us week 1. You think I'm gonna root for you after that? Or week 2? You
Oh.
think I'm gonna root for you after that?
Oh man. Yeah.
Well,
I
you're
do.
wrong. Go
All right.
Warriors.
All right, Danny.
But hey,
I was
solid
giving you
try.
the opportunity.
Solid try.
It was worth a
In
shot.
all
On board.
seriousness, though, I'll see where I stand after the first season.
All right.
Hey, and later this week we'll be premiering the new GEFA show featuring Doug Budziak and Brandon Durr.
Doug
They're
and
just gonna,
Dirk.
yep, Doug and Durr, and they're just gonna give us their best takes. I don't want any take on any other team from Durr but the Comanche. I just love his Comanche takes. They are so wild.
So it's Doug, Justice Comanche takes Ender.
No, Durr just takes. Doug can talk about anything. It's gonna be great TV.
Great TV.
Great TV.
Matt Tavares said Beavis and Butthead. That's
And
that's a solid reboot.
I never got into Beavis and Butthead. Their last just seemed too annoying.
What? That's what made it.
All right, let's get into the power rankings before we go.
Y'all got it. Go ahead. Yeah, James. Start it off. Kick it off.
All right, we'll go with the Players Association top 5. We've got Buffaloes at number 1. Moshannon Valley's Vikings number 2. Wildcats number 3. Comanche number 4. And Warriors number 5. Now for the coaches poll, we got the Vikings number 1, Buffaloes number 2, Wildcats number 3, Comanche number 4, Warriors number 5. Now for the GEFA rankings, we got Vikings number 1, Buffaloes number 2, Wildcats number 3, Comanche number 4, Mustangs number 5, Warriors number 6, Nightmare 7, Raptors 8, Miners 10, Crusaders 11.
I like that 1-2 flip in the beginning. That's interesting. They've been winning by landslides, and the Viking scores are getting a little shorter there. When's that game, Thor?
We play the Buffaloes. We have this bye, and then the Nightmare, and then the Buffaloes.
2 weeks. Well, 3 weeks counting your bye.
June
That'll be a
8th.
good one. That'll be a good one.
Should be a good matchup.
Yeah. Your place?
Yep.
I was gonna say, I think I asked you this before. Yeah.
So what take we have on the ranking?
I like that first one.
We try to go more of like a college-based ranking system with the players and coaches polls. And then we did their actual one where it would be based off of points, pretty much like the PIAA system.
So if playoffs started today, who's the 1, who's the 2?
Vikings 1, Buffaloes 2.
Gotcha.
Wildcats 3, Comanche 4. Mustangs still hold on the 5th, and then Warriors 6th. So you might have a rematch in the playoffs if it started today between the Wildcats and Warriors at the Wildcats field.
Nice.
And then you would have Comanche Mustangs rematch at the Comanche. Benderson said the Buffalo still have to play the Warriors and Comanche. So they don't have that easy of a schedule going down the end of the road.
Yeah, we have Nightmare, Buffaloes, Crusaders.
Yeah, so playoffs are going to be interesting this year. We only, like we said before, we went down to the top 6 regardless of conference. We went with the point system from last year. That hasn't changed. We had first 2 teams have buys, which is the first time we've done that in, I think, 2013, maybe 2012, around there. Be interested to see how the home teams do after a bye. The top 2 seeds. I think the Raptors and Nightmare right now are on the bubble. Both still have chances to make it to the playoffs, but their first 2 teams on the outside looking in. I know Emilio said that it was going to be a team under 500 that's going to make it to the playoffs. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
It'll be short-lived, so I mean, it is what it is.
Danny, anybody else have any questions in the comments?
Let me look. The comments have not showed up for me tonight. They've given me a lot of troubles, but let's see. I don't see anything. Most recent is Trey saying something, but I don't see anything. And on that note, I guess that I should wrap things up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning into Inside the GEFA. This episode went much longer than any of us expected, I'm sure. And we will see you same time. Are we holding this next week, it being Memorial Day and all?
No.
We will be off next week, as I was just told. So we will see you right here in 2 weeks. Enjoy the unofficial kickoff this summer.